Welcome back to everyone's favorite show. Let's dive right into what is actually going on in this market. We have the Spot Physical Uranium Trust, the price of physical uranium up 10% this month. We have the S&P 500 only up 4.5% this month. So the spot physical price of uranium is outperforming the broader stock market. Why is that? Well, these charts say it all. Contracting volumes and term price. So long-term contract volumes in pink, annualized for what we've seen in the first few months of 2023 is higher than any other year since 2004. This is the biggest year of long-term contracting volume, meaning utilities buying up the supply of uranium in about 20 years, right? Massive demand for this resource. 2023 set to be the strongest nuclear year since Fukushima. Output. We're seeing record output of nuclear power in 2023. Remember, we're still in the early stages of humanity's adoption of nuclear energy, and we just saw a record year. All while the supply of this resource is in a structural deficit, meaning there's not enough available to meet demand. This comes from the World Nuclear Fuel Report 2021. A large supply deficit is projected to emerge in the global uranium market. So we have projected demand through the roof in red, and then we have the projected supply flat. There are no projections showing a massive amount of above ground uranium flooding the market anytime soon. That is the point. And at the same time, we have a brand new revolutionary technology coming into the space, increasing the demand even further. Small modular reactors. These are small nuclear reactors that are portable, that can be moved anywhere. We're talking about decentralizing the energy grid, meaning we're not relying on one city connected to a massive grid connected to another city. We're talking about sustainable energy, decentralized. Publicly announced SMR deployment agreements by year. So 0 in 2017, 6 in 2020, 2022, 11. We're still in the early stages of this space. Extremely exciting. All while we're seeing turmoil continuing in the traditional energy markets. Europe gas market volatility soars the highest this year. Obviously, there's massive supply chain problems in the traditional energy market, right? Even solar, even wind, intermittent, no way to store it effectively. Nuclear is the only reliable energy source. Because of that, we're seeing a huge amount of nuclear power plants and nuclear reactors extending the life of their operation. They're too valuable to be set aside. And here is the math. As of June 15, 2023, 87 of the 92 commercially operating nuclear reactors in the US have had their licenses extended to 60 years. Furthermore, 16 reactors have applied for subsequent license renewal, which would authorize units to operate for another 20 years beyond the 60 years of the initial license and first renewal. So just a massive amount of demand for the uranium fuel, which is going to power all this nuclear energy growth. And we have to stay on top of the supply chain picture. Why we can't let nuclear energy become the next supply chain crisis. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency issued draft regulations setting ambitious greenhouse gas emissions limits for power plants. If EPA's proposed rule goes into effect, it will accelerate the need for nuclear energy since it is the only carbon-free source that can fill this void. As the demand for uranium increases in the US, it must diversify its global supply chains. We do not want to find ourselves in the position we are currently in with the nickel, copper, lithium, and cobalt needed for electric vehicles. But at the end of the day, the supply chains are extremely weak. Russia is still the top U.S. uranium supplier despite efforts to wean off. So there are serious efforts underway, which we've been covering, to wean off of Russia. But guess what? It's still the top, meaning it's impossible at this point to wean off Russia. There's not enough in the West. And so we have a fragile supply chain, massive demand, and a shrinking supply.
This discussion is for informational purposes only. Please consult a certified financial planner when making any decisions about investing. And do your own research before making any decision. Investments are risky, and you can lose lots of money in them.